of the sources of medieval India is the periods from AD 700 to 1200 and AD 1200 to 1700 are the early and later medieval period of India. There are numerous and varied sources are available to the historians to engage the study of medieval India. The information that can be gleaned from inscriptions, monuments, and coins are the accounts left by Arab, Persian, and Turkish chroniclers. Here, gleaned means to collect, means the collected information from inscription, monuments, and coins are the accounts left by Arab, Persian, and Turkish chronicles. Chronicles means the person who write report on history. These accounts are rich and first-hand information on king's life and it gives very less descriptions about the common people. The opinions of courtiers and chroniclers are always one side and they write in hyperbolic languages. Hyperbolic means exaggeration. They write in exaggerating languages and they write exaggerating about king's achievements. Now let us explore some various sources available for the study of the history of the medieval India. Sources are supporting material, documents or records in the form of evidence and helps to reconstruct the past. It means it gives more information about the past with evidence. We can examine the details of political, economic and socio-cultural developments with this aids of sources. There are classifications of sources into two. They are primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources are inscriptions, monuments, coins, and the secondary sources are literary works, chronicles, travelogues, biographies, and autobiographies. Inscriptions means writings on rocks, stones, etc. And monuments means temples, palaces, forts, etc. Coins means we have old coins that describe about kings and history. And the secondary sources are literary works. Literary works means the work written in the history. It means, for example, Bhagavad Gita. Chronicles means the book written about the history. Travelogues means the people lives in the olden days. They travel one place to another place and they write the experience of the travel. That is travelogues. Next, biographies. Biographies means the person who writes about the other person's life is biographies. Autobiographies means the person who write about their own life history is autobiographies. Next, now we see about some primary sources. First, inscriptions. Now let us see some information about inscriptions. Inscriptions are writings engraved on solid surface such as rocks, stones, temple, walls and metals. It contains rich information about concerned era. It also gives more information about king's royal decreases. Decreases means law. and their dedication and donations, etc. It gives more information about victories in wars and the great warriors. And there are various type of lands gifted by Chola kings are also known from inscriptions and copper plates. There are some examples, that is Vellanvahai, land of non-Brahmin proprietors, and Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins, Shalaboha, land for maintenance of school, Devadana, land gifted to temples, Palichandam, land donated to Jaina institution. Jaina means the people who follow Jainism. These are gifted to peoples by Chola kings. You can see the picture. This is inscription. Next, copper plates. Copper plates, I have given a picture. You can see it. This is copper plate. Copper plates, grants treated as legal documents and vital source values. It means it is very important source of value. The Islamic Persian practice is high cost copper plate made of palm leaf, and later in 13th century they started using paper cheaper. During Chola period, copper plates are gifted to individuals like priests and teachers. This copper plate give more elaborated descriptions about giver and receiver. For example, if king gives copper plate as a gift to teachers, it gives more information about king and the receiver, teacher also. But it is more differ in stone inscription, because stone inscription focus upon giver alone. It means the king alone. There are major focus upon giver in stone inscriptions. For example, we have some plates like Tiruvalangadu plates of Rajendra Sola first and Anbai plates of Sundara Sola, and we have some other informations like Attiramerur inscriptions in Kanjipuram district provide details of the way in which the village administrations was conducted. Next, monuments. Monuments are temples, palaces, mosques, tombs, forts, minas and minarets. The Sultans of Delhi introduced a new type of architectures. They are their monuments. Their monuments are arches, domes and minarets. There are more and rich information of the history is constructed in these monuments. For example, we can see the medieval Khajuraho monuments in Madhya Pradesh and temples in Konark, Odisha and Dilwara, Mount Abu, Rajasthan. This gives the understand about the religious centered cultural evolution in North India. In Tamil Nadu, the temples in Tanjavur, Pragadishwara temple, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharasuram, that gives more magnified structures built by Chola kings. Then Vitala and Viruprakash temple at Hampi speaks the contribution of Vijayanagara rulers of 15th century. Next, Quwat-ul-Islam Masjid and Mot Ki Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri Dargah. These places are all around Delhi and Charminar, Hyderabad, or more important mosques belong to the medieval times. You can see some important historical forts that I have given as a picture. First is Agra Fort, next is Delhi Red Fort, next is Chittoor Fort, and the last is Gwalior Fort. Next, palaces in Jaipur, Jaisalmer and Jodhpur signifies the greatness of Rajput dynasty. Dynasty means series of rulers. Next, Mughal rulers like Qutub Minar, Alai Darwaza, the tombs of Iltutmish. Tombs means small buildings. Next, Balban and all the other Mughal rulers are the significant structure that they recognized the valuable as source of information about the medieval period. Next, Firozabad and Tughlakabad in North India and Hampi in South India remain rich in history of medieval India. They give more informative things about the medieval India. Next we see about coins. The pictures and the legend on the coin gives the names of king with their title and portraits, events, places, dates, dynasties and logos. It also gives the king's achievements like military conquests, territorial expansion, trade links, and rich faith can also be found in coins. Next, the metal coins give information on economic condition of the emperor. Like Muhammad Ghori has stamped the figure of goddess Lakshmi and his name on his coin. That coin describes both about the goddess Lakshmi and the king Muhammad Ghori. This coin also gives information about the earlier Turkish and their religious outlook. And the copper jittals means copper made coins. Copper kettles are available for the study of the period of Delhi Sultans. And silver taka is used by Iltutmish, and gold coins used by Alauddin Khalji, and copper token currency is used by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. This is indicative of coinage as well as the economic prosperities. Prosperities means wealth, economic wealth of that period. You can see the coin image that I given, that is made up of different metals like copper, silver, etc. Today we have seen about the primary sources. In the next class we see about the secondary source. Now let us sum up about the primary source. The class today we seen is primary source. We have seen about sources of medieval India, the introduction, and there are two sources, primary source and secondary source. Primary sources are inscription, monuments and coins. Inscription means the writings on rocks, stones, and the monuments means temple, palaces, and coins, the old coins of kings. I think you all have understood the class. You can keep this some Tamil examples for inscription. Inscription you can see in our Bhavani also. You can if you went to the temple Kududare, you can see inscriptions in there. And monuments, it is also a monument. You can see this temple is built a very long year ago. It is also a monument. You can see by using our Kududare temple also. And the coins you can see on the net. If you search the old coins, you can see the different images that has given in the coin that also describe about the king and their economic prosperities. I think you all have understood the class, and the next class we continue with the secondary sources. Thank you, students.